Morning, people. Wagwan. Big up to all of the man them out there. We celebrate Father's Day. I mean, to me, it's a father every day if you have kids, or if you take on a little juvenile cause and him life as a father figure or whatever. You know what I say? So, I mean, I see a lot of people post and say, all of the real fathers out there, big up yourself and all of the man them and but I think a lot of people fail to understand that there's circumstances that provide that are put in place sometime even from the system or just from us making bad choices and impregnating the wrong people that would not allow some men who want to be real fathers to be real fathers. So I just want to know what is the definition of a real father. You know what I'm saying? Like me, for instance, I never know my dad because of circumstances beyond my control. He was murdered before I got the opportunity to know him. So he wasn't around, just like an absentee dad, you know what I mean? It was the choices that he made in life and the people that he affiliated himself with, who he trusted or whatever. But it was still his decision to align himself with these people who ultimately caused him to lose his life. So does that make him not a real dad? You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, me not really understand. I really want somebody like explain to me what is a real father. Because like I said, there's a lot of circumstances put in place that don't allow men who really want to step up to the plate to be the father that they can be. And if one side of the story is told, then it would lead you to believe that the men who you don't see or that are absent from their children's life choose to be, when a lot of times that's not the case. If you don't understand what I say. I suppose you raise your pitney, because remember we don't get no manual in. You know what I mean? So suppose you raise your pitney to the best of your ability, and then your ultimate best is not good enough for your child. So your child choose to disassociate themselves with you. Does that make you a bad dad? I mean, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I really would like some feedback on that because, every year when Father's Day come around, I see the post them and them thing there where people would just jump out and all of the real fathers out there and, you know, it's like, suppose that man did choose to deal with somebody else who he was more compatible with. You know what I mean? Who he would have stayed with. Suppose that woman had chose to have a child with a man, you know what I mean, who was really going to be there. But a lot of times we don't make those choices. We just act off an impulse or off a sheer emotion. I don't know what I say. So, I don't know. Let me tell you, me stop celebrate Father's Day long ago because from the minute I became a dad, every day was, and every day still is Father's Day to me. So, me not really need no one day to recognize the effort of me put forth. You understand? So the real father something that me kind of confused. So I'm going to could really give me some insight as to what a real father is. Because trust me, there's some people out here who give 110% and they're not acknowledged for their efforts. You know what I'm saying? And, being as though they're removed from the picture either by the system or by the person that they had the child with. And you're only hearing one side of the story and, the mom taking all of the glory or whatever. That will lead you to believe that this person is a deadbeat. Or as me say, Sometimes, even if the person is a deadbeat, the mother kind of did know from beforehand that she was mixing up with a person who probably wouldn't be the ideal person to father her child, but she still went ahead and did it. So that's a bad choice that she made. You know, man, said knowing that you're gonna mix up with somebody who just basically wasn't gonna be there. The man have all three pitney before when not take care of. So what made you feel like you were going to be the exception, you know? So if he's a bad dad, then there's a good chance that you might be a bad mom for making a bad decision. But at the end of the day, it's still all just boiled down to the kids, you see me? You know what I mean? And doing the right thing by them. And allowing them to have a relationship with two parents and putting your ego aside, you know? Because really and truly, when you look at how the world are run, every child need both of them parents. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, a real father something, it throw me off every time I see it. Bless up to all of the real father them out there. Like, what is a real father? You know, my daddy did have some bad man friend and them kill him. And I'm pretty sure if he was still alive, you know what I'm saying, that me and him would probably have the relationship that every child deserves to have with them father. But he made some bad choices that ultimately directly affected me and his ability to be a good dad. So being as though he aligned itself with bad people, does that make him a bad dad? If you choose to breed a woman where just not really mentally or spiritually ready for have a pitney, that's a bad choice. That doesn't necessarily make you a bad dad. You try if you do the honorable thing, but no matter what you do, you're not going to get acknowledgement for it. And then remember, you have a system that's in place that's basically built to break up families. So that's a tough one. But like me say, me just free to speak on that because like me say, every year when Father's Day come up, I see these posts, all of the real dads out there. And really just I try to understand what people mean by that. Because there's always circumstances behind a situation that probably would lead a man not to be able to be there for his child. And a lot of times it's more than what meets the eye. So, you know, like I say, if a woman did a bash her baby father, say then what? You never did know say it's a bad choice you make when time you breathe for that man until after the fact. So you still have to kind of looking at yourself and take accountability for your actions as well. Understand? Yeah, man. But like I said, to all of the people them who celebrate Father's Day, and big up on yourself. Me not try stealing of glory or whatever, but to me, every day a Father's Day. From the minute me become a father, you know what I mean, every day is Father's Day to me. So, you know, big up all of the man them who have the opportunity to keep civilization going by, you know, putting a child in this world and, you know, whatever the circumstances may be, whether it was by design or whether it was just you're just never ready for deal or step up to the plate and handle your responsibility. You know what I mean? That kind of it's a sad situation, but there's enough blame to go around on the two sides. Cause like me say, most of the time you see the red flag them. And if you really are gonna breed for somebody and you don't know the person, then and then you're gonna point finger when the person don't do the honorable thing. You always have to go back to the initial point when you decided to conceive a child with this person out of wedlock or, you know what I mean, or not knowing the full story behind the person or knowing that this person had three people that him never really usually take care of and thinking that you would be the exception, you know? Yeah, man. So, I bless upon myself and I Father's Day. I just did feel like to vent and that's it.